Ew. That's gross. Yeah, let's let it roll, Danny Palm, because that we need to get that on camera. We need to talk about this Cassidy family mouthpiece. Did you really just say that?
I absolutely
All
did.
right.
And it's in a mesh bag that gets drug around the gym mats. But I'm not kidding you. Me, Caden, and Cross share one mouthpiece.
How does that work?
It's not molded, So
Okay.
Yeah, it's loose. So they're like chewing on it and stuff.
But I'm saying like Caden finishes a round and it's like Cross's turn. They just pop it out.
Pop it out. Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep. And God forbid if it drops.
Is there a spray of water before they?
Absolutely not. Nope. And if I'm in the mood to spar that day, it goes to me last.
Oh,
Yeah.
And you just accept that.
I don't care.
I mean, to be fair, as your dad, you've experienced worse, I'm sure, when they're babies.
I mean, I'd be more concerned about them where my mouth's been.
Hey, that's a pretty fair statement, and I think very on brand. Did you see the clip that we had where we were talking about the possibility of a Cassidy family tag team?
Yeah, I felt the bullseye on our back on that one, yeah.
But are we wrong? Come on, that would be a sick tag team.
Yes, it would. I mean, I think Cam will attest that, there's only so much we can show Cross because I don't want him using it against me eventually because he's that type of kid. So,
yes.
Yeah, he's far different than his brother. Far different.
In what ways exactly would you say?
He's a
don't
prick.
get him started.
Yeah, I mean, he gets thrown out of practice probably 2 times. I mean, the one good thing about having Cross there is it takes some of the brunt off of Cam getting yelled at. So, I mean, it's kind of a good thing.
It's like a parallel between Caden and Cross with me and Ethan in a practice,
Makes perfect
like
sense.
Ethan can do no wrong. I'll do the same thing. He's like, you absolute idiot.
No, that can't be the case.
Yes, it is.
Poor Cam, just getting beat up in practice, mentally, physically, everything in between.
That's the idea. That is the idea.
Oh, you can't knock the results. I mean, everybody who watches Cam fight has the same impression, I think. If you've never seen you fight, they just see you like right now. You're dressed up. You got a belt. You got
like
a tucked in
a
shirt.
fucking geek?
Yeah. I'm letting you say it. I'm letting you say it so I don't get punched or choked.
We just
but
we just had a discussion the other day. I think the best way to address Cam's fashion attire is parallel with a 5-year-old that was allowed to lay his clothes out for school. I think that's the best way.
And I walked in the other day and he's like, you know what you look like? You remember back in the day when Target used to do the pictures in the back of the store? Kmart. I didn't make it to Target levels.
Yeah. It wasn't even Target.
Yeah, he looked like the family comes in for Kmart to get the fashion
For sure.
photos.
Sears, maybe,
Yeah,
on a good Christmas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's Cam's attire.
That's beautiful. But
Like a funny story, and God bless him. Caden's graduation party a few years ago.
Oh.
So now look, Caden was around. I mean, we had legit dudes at this party, Division I All-American, like tough dudes. So they had known I coached him and the team. So we're all sitting over there, and they go, "Where's your fighter at?" And I say, "I'm showing him Ethan, Sid, and who's that?" I said, "That's Cam." So Cam, I think that day was Crocs, mismatched shorts, and a t-shirt, and the glasses.
awesome.
Like, no. The glasses broke.
Oh.
He had black electrical tape, and they weren't glued together right, so they were crooked, and the earpiece was coming out. Like, he literally looked like a hazing incident from high school. Like, he literally just come out of a locker. And I sat at that friggin' graduation having to justify, no, he's probably one of the top 3 or 4 bad dudes in this party. He looked like Harry Potter. I mean, God bless him. Thank God he's tough.
Oh, that's awesome.
I had to sit there and convince these dudes, like, yeah, he's a bad dude.
Yeah, glasses are expensive. So, I had to make do, but I had a popsicle stick.
Left out a crucial detail there.
But the problem was there was nowhere for the tape to go,
Right.
without blocking the lens. So as the party went on, the popsicle stick just got less and less taped on.
And it was off center. I mean, dude, it was a disaster. It was a friggin' disaster.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
In the Crocs, like that's Cam.
I feel like I don't even need to ask this. Has this been your style since you were a young kid? You just embracing it now?
Why do you think he fights?
Okay, there we go. That seems like the reasonable answer.
Like, you know how animals have that self-defense mechanism?
This is his.
He knows if he goes out in public like that, he's gonna get fucked with. So you might as well learn how to fight.
Does it ever happen in the gym? Somebody sees you, like a newcomer that just doesn't know who you are, and is like, "I'm gonna go pick on this guy. Like, I'm doing a round with this guy."
I only see the fight classes.
Nah, I haven't got that yet. Every once in a while, my favorite is you'll get the big guy comes in. They don't like single anybody out in particular, but they're like, "Oh, I'm big. I'm just gonna smash everybody," and then like I'll go with them. And it's like, "Oh no, like technique's a real thing."
Yeah, imagine that. So where did you start, Cam, exactly? Because were you with Fight Club Pittsburgh or the academy back in the day?
I used to do kids classes there, but I wasn't like. It's a kid's class. They show you an arm bar and, you play dodgeball. So this one time, my mom was a little bit of a helicopter parent, which made it worse. But they would play dodgeball after class every single time for the kids class. Well, she would always have to bring my little brother in. I think he was like 5 or 6 at the time. And I cannot remember if it was Jericho or if it was Kama. Matt's like 5. Wails him, like full grown man throwing a ball, smacks him right in the face with this dodgeball. And they were like I think they were the foam ones to make it better, but he's 5 and they're a professional fighter. He knocked him right off his feet. It was like just boom on the ground. Oh, my mom was so pissed.
Oh, that's
like,
beautiful.
We didn't go to too many more after that one, and I had to switch gyms shortly after.
Nice. Where did you go after that?
That's whenever I started wrestling in high school, so I just kind of wrestled. I would go to, like, Pit Club and stuff, Nelman, and then, after that, whenever I switched to Baldwin High School, my one buddy, he'd go and he trained under Donnie, and, we were messing around before practice, so one day, and, like, I threw an armbar on him. He's like, "Oh, man, you know jiu-jitsu?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, a little bit." He's like, "Oh, you gotta start doing MMA over here." So I trained there, and then, whenever I went to college, I couldn't find anywhere to train at. There was this one gym. What's that one guy's name in South Fork?
Oh,
Darcy.
Oh, Regala.
Yeah. So I'm calling all around. This the only place I could call, and I'm like, "Do you guys do MMA?" And they're like, "Do we do MMA?" Well, all right. Well, you know who Charlie Brenneman is, and I was like, "No."
Oh no.
Good start.
I have no idea.
No.
And he's like, "Oh, well, he's kind of a big deal." I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Like, do you guys do it or not?" He's like, "Yeah, we do it." I go in. And it is straight, like, 40, 50-year-old dudes. Which, good on you, keeping with it. But, like, that was not an MMA gym.
Yeah.
They're all nice guys. And then the moment I realized, like, no, I really need to keep looking for a gym is I'm getting changed in the back. And all the lights get shut out. I'm like, "Hey, guys, like, I'm still back here. Just give me, like, 30 more seconds." And they're like, "Oh, we're not leaving." I'm like, "This is weird.
Whoa.
What's going on?" Yeah. So I hear a lightsaber noise. I walk out.
What?
I didn't know this story.
Yeah.
Stop, dude.
So I walk out, and the whole room just like a faint green sound. I look over, and they are bringing out like these metal briefcases, like John Wick stuff. So they got these metal briefcases that they got their screw together lightsabers, and they got like special sound. Like they're
they
legit.
Death Starred that shit?
They Death Starred that shit. It is legit.
Dude, why have I not heard this story?
They used to do it at Gorilla House. They would run out the wrestling room.
Stop.
Yeah,
Don't drag us into this bullshit.
So, Ray, he's taking anybody's money.
That's a good point. Even geeks' money is green.
But like they're legit. Like it's not plastic. It's not like none of that. You go like that and it whips out. Like
was it real shit?
Together. It's metal, but they're doing like choreographed.
My God.
Attacks and I was like, I don't think this is like I'm a nerd, but I'm not this type of nerd. Best part is though, this is straight before like that Force Awakens or whatever comes out. So opening day, we go, we're at UPJ. There's not much to do, so we go out that day and go to see the movie. Them motherfuckers are in costume.
Dude, stop.
In
Just,
costume,
come on.
dude. They got the robes on, the hoods up. They were doing their choreographed thing in the parking lot, and they get a crowd too. You know, like everybody's waiting to get tickets. Yeah.
So wait, were they practicing for that at the
Yes.
time? Okay, they were like practicing their choreography.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think the one guy got into video editing.
I'm so pissed I've never heard this story because I could have had a bunch of good shit
The
for
best
this
part
show.
too is I wish I would have taken his class with the one guy who's a professor at UPJ. He did like literature or something. But I really
One of the
wish
lightsaber dudes?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad.
Dude, I would have never got a bad grade in that. Dude, the minute he gave me a bad grade, I'm like, you want me to tell the class what the fuck you do on your free time?
Know.
I'll use the force on you right now.
Dude, that is so beautiful. So I'm just imagining a bunch of grown-ass men practicing lightsaber moves, choreography.
Oh yeah.
I just don't know how your life gets to that
I can't
point.
imagine Cam not jumping in it, to be honest with you. I'm really having a trouble.
There are times.
I think he's leaving part of it out.
Was it a little tempting? Were you like, all right, that looks kind of fun?
It was too intimidating whenever they had that.
The metal
Yeah.
briefcases and
What's that one movie with Samuel Jackson in it? With Pulp
Snakes on a
Fiction.
Plane?
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, it's like some Pulp Fiction shit. I'm
What's
like,
in the
oh.
briefcase? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
That's at that gym.
Yeah, they did that for a long time, and then they start doing it. The one guy moved, so he started doing it there. They're all real nice dudes, though. Like,
my
it's
God.
just that's their thing. The one guy used to take Kirk's class for a while there.
One of them comes into our place?
I haven't seen him in a long time, but yeah, they used to come up. They do like combat
How do you not
sports.
let me know this? How do you not let, like, that is, I want to know who that is.
I need to know.
No, I need to know because it's going to be on when I go to the gym. I'm never going to let them live it down.
Next time they come in, I'll point them out to
Please.
you. But yeah, they're like legit train and stuff. It's just that's their. They do it just to stay in shape for their lightsaber battles.
What's wrong with your generation, man?
That's your generation.
No,
I was
ain't
going to
mine.
say, it sounds older than Cam's generation was
Holy
doing this.
shit.
Cam actually had the good sense of mind to say no.
Yeah,
Just
I guess-
say no to lightsabers.
Now I'm kind of offended that that's the only way he found our gym is because they were doing lightsaber duels.
Yeah, so
that it wasn't
I'm
the
really
highest bar to
offended.
clear.
I thought it was something maybe the coaching or the partners. Here we come to find out because they're doing Death Star shit.
Yes.
He just comes to us.
yeah, so I go home for winter break, and they're like, "Oh man, have you been training up there?" And I was like, "Well."
About that.
So I was talking to the one guy, and he's like, "Man, I swear there used to be a ton of gyms whenever he went to the same college." He's like, "Look up this name." He gives me a list of names to look up, and like like kind of how the sport goes, people fade in, fade out, and it was Dignan was still around, so I messaged him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, go to Gorilla House. This guy Ray, he runs it. Go to jiu-jitsu practice," and that's how I ended up finding Gorilla House. But
That's awesome. Oh my God. So you guys, to be fair, you were better than a lightsaber gym.
Yeah, I guess I'm proud. I guess I don't know. I'm just completely offended. You never told me the story before.
Well, I got to transition because you got a Walt Disney World visor on. Do you like Star Wars
Full-grown
World
Disney adult.
down
Oh,
at Disney?
Listen, I will be straight up. I adore Disney.
so I help him move this one time. He moves a lot.
So
So I go in, I help him move. First of all, I walk into this mansion of a house, like actual mansion.
I made him pay my flight
Probably,
to work.
yeah. Probably
It was
10
like
bedrooms.
a month before.
Yes.
He wanted to fight in South Carolina. I'm like, fuck you, Cam. I'm not paying for that
he's
shit.
Buy
You
my
pay
plane
for-
ticket.
Yeah, I made
In the
a
hotel.
college kid pay for my plane ticket.
That's
in
a
hotel.
power move.
Yeah.
That is a
So
power
I pull
move.
up this, I'm like, dude, are you serious? Like, there's like a water fountain out front. So
There's like a ballet. They
Uh,
park Cam.
That's beautiful.
And he
It
comes
was
out, the
Ethan.
first words out of his mouth, he said, "You fucking charged me a plane ticket, and this is where you live."
So I go to help him move. I grab this one dresser. I start signing out. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna have to take the drawers out. It's gonna be real heavy." All right, well, what's it got in here? I pull it out, and it's filled to the brim. Every single drawer is filled to the brim with like the little tiny soaps you get at Disney World. They only give you like 2 or 3 bottles at a time for your whole stay.
Unbelievable.
It is every single chest. It's
Oh.
it's the size of the hat.
Oh
No,
my
it's
God.
it's. Well, I mean, I want to relive that when I'm at home. So
That's beautiful.
like we used to send Cross out. They used to leave their little housekeeping carts.
Yes.
That was Cross's little job when he was like 8. Go
Take
rob
'em.
the cart of
Take
soaps
'em.
and
That's beautiful. Was it the smell that you wanted, or was it just the essence
legit
of
soap.
Disney?
Not paid a lot of this. I
That's
paid a lot of
Disney.
money.
Yeah.
He goes 3 times a year. He got the little Mickey Mouse ears.
Stop. I don't do that.
You don't do the ears?
No.
That's where you draw the line.
Yeah,
a visor. Just
I'm
a visor.
a Disney adult who goes there 3 times a year, but I do not put the ears on.
I draw the line.
Don't slander me like that.
You got to stop somewhere. So, what's your top Disney park between Epcot, Magic Kingdom?
Epcot.
Epcot's the move. Is it the food and the beer?
Food.
Yeah.
I don't drink, so it's food.
You just said that. My bad.
Strictly food. Yeah, I mean, where else? I'm petrified to go overseas. I want to go to Italy because that's where my gram and my family's from. But I'm petrified to fly overseas. So, where else can you go from China to Italy in 50 yards? I mean, I can
50
eat
yards.
I can eat General Tso's and be eating like, awesome pasta 50 yards down.
It's true.
I mean, how do you beat that,
dude? It's pretty sick. We just went last December.
Did you?
Say. Yeah.
Where'd you stay?
That's great. My sister got us an Airbnb off. We didn't stay in Disney premises, but we went to a steakhouse in Canada.
Le Cellier. Oh my God, yes,
dude.
Is that not the shit?
Yes.
The cheese. You got the cheese soup.
No, I didn't get cheese
soup.
Oh
my dude, talk to me before you go.
I didn't realize.
You gotta hit him up next time.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was in the presence of a professional here.
Listen, I will shave money. I have it down.
Le Cellier was not cheap though, for sure, but it was legit. It was
Because I mean, what is it? It's probably like, I think we just went there in May. It was every bit of $65 a plate.
Yeah.
Plus appetizers, drinks. And,
at least, yeah. With
it's
the
a
drinks
nice place,
too.
though.
It's a good thing you don't drink because that is where it really starts to add up.
Well, I did have an ice wine there.
Nice.
Which was legit.
Super sweet.
Super sweet. That's the only way I'll drink it. If it's super sweet.
Nice. I can't believe we let you bully us.
He's like, I don't believe it either. I'm waiting for the day that you guys figure this out and stop.
Cam knows I have at my age, I got 2 to 3 good practices a month where I can spar good.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest are hurt knees, bad stomach.
Yep.
Hurt elbow. He knows there's about 3 that he's got to weather the storm. After that, I'm done.
You're all good. Dude, Darren, what is your competitive background? I don't know much about your background in combat sports, to be honest.
Yeah. And look, obviously the younger guys, I've been doing this since Christ. I was 17 in high school. So I wrestled as a kid, got to high school, and I wanted to, boxing was huge at the time. Roy Jones and obviously Enda Tyson. So I boxed, had 30-some, I think just under 30 boxing matches. Won regional or the local Golden Gloves at Palace. That's come from right down the road.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
So did that. Had the job, relocation out to Bedford.
Yep.
Picked up the Altoona boxing gym there. Did that for a while, and then took a few years off. Met another coach of ours, Kirk Robinson. The Tough Man was in town, and we were getting guys ready for the Tough Man. And he said, "Hey, hands are good. Why don't you try kickboxing?" So, and that's when I started the kickboxing.
Okay.
So I had, 14 some fights in kickboxing. So I started in what they call international rules, which is just your leg kicks. Basically everything goes, just no knees.
Got it.
After I got a few of those under my belt, then I went to Thai fight.
Beautiful.
Now, back in the day, and this is what a lot of people don't understand, I had to travel because it wasn't regulated in PA. You're talking early 2000s.
Right.
So, I mean, and a lot of times I didn't even go with Kirk. And that's how I don't even take that time back. I don't even regret that because I met so many people on the road.
Sure.
I'd hook up with a show like Kansas City. I got to be good friends with people out there.
Nice.
I'd say, hey, look, I'm coming in for a show. I'm coming by myself, or me and Heather. Can you hook me up with a gym and a corner? And I used to do that. And that's what, I mess with the guys all the time. But back in that day, there was no YouTube. So if I said, if they said you're fighting so-and-so, dude, it's
could be anything.
It could be, I fought Travis Fulton.
That's crazy.
You know who that is?
Yeah, I absolutely know who Travis Fulton is.
I had a fight with him in Iowa.
Oh.
He was between back in then it was NHB. That's how old my ass is.
Yeah.
But he had an NHB fight that fell through, and the promoter I got to be friends with was like, look, your guy bailed, Trav's guy bailed. Do you want to He said it can be an exhibition, it can be whatever. So we did international rules.
Nice.
So yeah.
How did that go? He's had like 300 pro fights, right?
Yeah.
Like an insane amount.
He was a brawler.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't technical.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't want to, at the time I was newer to Muay Thai. So I'm like, I ain't fucking with the knees with him.
Right.
I said, we'll stay outside. And
that's
but
awesome.
I fought him.
Beat Travis Fulton. That's sweet.
Fought there, Jersey, New York, Louisiana. Fought on a Pat Barry show in Louisiana.
Oh wow! Didn't even know that existed.
Kansas City. Well, no, he was fighting on the card.
I got you. I was like, Pat Barry ran a promotion in Louisiana. Can't picture that.
Yeah, for several reasons.
Yes.
New York. Oh, I fought in Barbados with Team USA.
Oh wow, that's
so
sick.
yeah. I have
nice, man. Because I never knew, because obviously I hear the way Cam and Ethan and everybody talks about you. I'm like, what is his background exactly?
Yeah.
Not that even you need one, and that's an interesting thing.
You do. You do.
Do you think?
Okay. You're going to start.
Well, go ahead, Cam. Seems
know.
like you have something to say.
I don't got nothing. It's just like, nah, you do. Yeah.
Yeah, you
You
do.
don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Like, how do you? I don't. How do you not?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm honestly asking. I mean, so with my boys growing up in wrestling, like just today, Ty Nauman picked Cross up to go to practice.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ty's a multi-time All-American, like legit. That's the dudes I have my kids around.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to know you compete, and I'm not saying you had to be an All-American, but I want to know you competed at a high level.
I think
because what do you?
Yeah.
If you don't know, and ask him, and that's why I still sport of the day, because I need to feel what I'm showing them is legit. How do you see it all the time, these, especially nowadays with Facebook, you jump on any Facebook, there's kids hitting the pads, and I'm like, dude, that combination's never going to work. Like, why? I want to know what we're doing is legit.
Yeah.
And there's only one way to do it, and it's to see if you get hit in the face or not. Like, no, I mean, I'm being serious. Like, everything looks good on pads.
For sure. Well, you hear that all the time. Everybody, UFC fight coming up, they're hitting pads. Oh my God, he looks so good. And it's like, it's pads, bro.
Dude, I can make anybody look good on pads.
Yeah.
And I'm not being a dick. I mean, it's just a fact.
Mm-hmm.
You see these combinations, they're 15 punches.
Yeah.
Kid like Cam's going to have you down on punch 2.
Yes.
You're going down.
Yeah.
And, I'm a big wrestling guy, so I mean, 1 or 2 punches, you're going down.
Yeah.
And that's why we teach angles and, timing's everything. Timing and distance are everything.
It's interesting to hear you say that, because I would totally say, just watching Guerrilla House guys, Cam, Ethan, Sid, even Caden in his fight, that's something that's very evident. The distance and timing is something you guys, and that's Ethan during this run that he's on. I feel like he's really, really dialed into that right now. Yeah,
it's if I can control time, to me, timing's above all else. That's my opinion. Because power's power, but if I can hit you clean when I want to hit you clean, that power feels a little worse.
Right.
You can't just go out and wing, and that's one thing. Cam's been excellent with that. Ethan's been, all the guys bought in 100%. And that's what, and Ray's the same way. Believe it or not, me and Ray don't ever coach together. Like, for real. Like, he has his days, I have mine.
I never knew that.
We are only together at fight shows.
Wow, okay.
And think about it, there's a reason for that. Because if you put, and there's nothing wrong with having both coaches, but, his specialization is ground and jiu-jitsu. Mine stand up in the takedown. So if Cam, Cam's strong on the mat. If at the beginning, Cam had both coaches, or who's he going to kind of lean to? He's going to go to where he feels comfortable because that's where he feels comfortable.
Yep.
Just like me, I would have kind of went to me.
Right.
But you're forced to go to that coach that's there.
That's really intelligent.
What I mean?
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
And when I run wrestling practices with my group, that's why you rarely see us go straight out live. Because what are you going to do? If you have a good single, you have a good sweep, you're going to, because look, it's human nature. You're trying to win the go. Let's be serious.
Right.
So you're never going to come out of your comfort zone. So it's a lot of situational stuff.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Cam, you've always shown, I think, a well-rounded game in the cage that I've seen from you. Definitely wrestling heavy. I'd say wrestling's your bread and butter. But what was uncomfortable for you at first when you got to Grill House? What were the elements of the game that you struggled with the most?
Getting into the cage to be part of the fighter practice. So Ethan's getting ready for a fight. He's fighting. Who was he fighting?
Just make sure you're talking into that guy.
It was him and Sid at the beginning.
Yeah, you remember he was fighting somebody who's a wrestler. He had a fight coming up. He needed somebody to take shots on him. Well, I was it. Like, nobody else really had a wrestling background. I was just doing jiu-jitsu. So, Ray's like, all right, go in there. Darren said he needs somebody to take shots. So I get in there, and Darren's like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, Ray told me to come over here. And he goes, well, I didn't tell you to come over here. And I was like, well, it's kind of Ray's gym. But, you know, I guess you make the rules too. And he's like, oh, you're a wrestler. And I was like, yeah, I wrestled. And he goes, what'd you do? Where you wrestle at? And I was like, oh, I wrestled in high school. He's like, so no college. And I was like, no. He goes, all right. What'd you place at States? And I was like, I didn't. And he goes, did you even make it to States? Like, are you even good at wrestling or you just fucking suck? And I was like, oh, I mean, I was decent. He goes, okay, this isn't getting through your thick skull. Did you make it to States or do you fucking suck? It's like, well, I guess I fucking
harsh.
suck. Yeah,
that's a little harsh.
Does that sound verbatim?
In fairness, I blame this on Ray. Ray told me I have this super legit wrestler, and God bless him, he is good. I didn't give him a chance, but he is good. But Ray hyped him up, and I thought, okay, I'm getting a kid that's on UPJ at least, like something legit. And he comes in, I'm like, okay, he went to Baldwin, Woodville, that's brutally tough. Like, which place? I didn't. Which place of regionals? I didn't. You even play some fucking districts, dude. I didn't. I'm like, fuck me. So
yeah, they have Ray come back over and like smooth talk things over. I don't even think he talked to me. He just kind of give hand signals like I was a dog.
After that, and I just like kicked the shit out of him.
So what changed for you, Cam? Because now, I mean, Justin Patton was just on the podcast and said it was after my fight with Cam that I was like, I got to learn how to wrestle because that guy just completely destroyed me wrestling. Your wrestling in the cage is very, very good.
I think that's awesome. Speaking of which, I wish there was more dudes like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I respect the hell out of him. I really do. To be able to realize a weakness in your game and rather than just handpick around it like a lot of people do, to say no and get with Isaac and you know, who I think the world of.
Yeah.
But
I forget the question.
He designs buildings, by the way.
It's fantastic. No, I just asked what clicked with wrestling for you. Like you said, you weren't a standout in high school, but if anybody would watch any of your fights, they would be like, okay, that's a collegiate wrestler or that's a high level wrestler.
Yeah, I was always decent, like neutral, which I mean that's most MMA wrestling. But that and then like just high school, like I just wasn't like mentally good. Like, you know, like if I had a match coming up, you know, I was stressing about it. Like I wouldn't wrestle good. I wouldn't take risk. I had no idea how to manage weight, you know. And then I also was terrible top bottom. Like his one son Cross, I'm sure he would tech me if it was just straight top bottom. But
nice.
You know, like Caden will destroy me wrestling, but Cross won't yet. So like it's like I could, you know, do that stuff, but it's just
In fairness, his coaching. I mean, I'm sure Danny knows. Like the sport's getting crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's legit dudes coaching, and I mean the club atmosphere. Because now I'm gonna told me about him right around the time that he come to me. He goes, "Oh, I know that kid." He said that kid's better than what you think. I guess he used to wrestle him with him at the Pit Club. So I mean, there's a lot of kids that kind of fly under the radar like him. That for whatever reason they didn't, you know, not good coaching.
Yeah.
Parents didn't take you to clubs, whatever
my senior year, my head coach, he never wrestled a day in his life. We needed somebody. He was like, yeah, I'll coach the team so you guys don't have to get rid of it. And
dang.
That was that.
Well, that's a perfect example of what we just said. You have to have done it, right?
I think. I don't. I mean, do you want a surgeon who watch it on YouTube? I don't know. I mean, yeah. I don't. And I'm not saying you have to be a comma in the UFC. I'm not saying that.
That's the important distinction, I think. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need to be a Pro Bowl NFL player to be a good football coach.
But I think you have to be in battle. I don't know how you don't. And the way the sport's changing constantly, because I've been around it for, basically, I worked with Dempsey at the beginning. I worked with Carlton at the beginning. I had Eli Gorshnick under me. I had a guy named, I've been around this since I retired in 06.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've seen the sport
all.
evolve.
Yeah.
It's, it used to be one trick pony. And now, I mean, these kids are deadly now. I mean, and I'll be the first to admit, I don't know jiu-jitsu like I used to. And I have to turn to him in Ethan's fight. Is he okay? Is he cool? Like, there's shit they're doing that I don't even see it coming.
That's nuts, man.
Like,
Darren's really overselling himself here. If they touch the head, he's like, "Is he in trouble? What's going on?" Like, that's just a headlock.
I don't like jiu-jitsu. I don't.
He turned to me the one day and he's like, like, I don't do the jiu-jitsu stuff, but I'd definitely be a blue belt. Oh boy.
I got a certificate that said that.
A certificate? Did you get that? University of Phoenix? Where'd you get that?
Yeah, it's like that. What's that? Triangle Tech
University.
shit?
Triangle Tech. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah,
dude.
It's crazy what these kids are doing now. I
Yeah.
mean, and you get kids like him have been doing this since they've been 11. Like the sport,
it's nuts.
The sport's going to change.
Yeah. Cam's game, I think we all really enjoy watching Cam fight, obviously. So we're excited for Saturday at this point, flying right up. And I've always just been impressed, Cam, with how slick your game is in general. Like, that's the word I would use, is slicker. You remind me of, like, when you were watching John Jones rise through the UFC and he was just doing weird, unorthodox stuff that worked. Like, that's Cam all day. Like, I don't know how you would prepare for you necessarily. Where do you pick? Are you an instinctual fighter? Are you planning these things? Like, how would you describe your game?
I would not describe it as John Jones. That's for sure.
Well, you're not like
and I wouldn't describe it as planned either, if you know Cam.
It's not like a straightforward game, I feel like there's a lot of guys you watch and you're like, okay, he likes to do this and this. With Cam, it's like, dude, you might be getting like that overhook shoulder crank you were trying to get on Hunter Starner.
Yeah,
like you don't see dudes doing that. John Jones did that to Glover Teixeira.
No, I mean, the thing is, like, you do so much stuff in the gym, and I think this was another thing that, like, kind of held me back with wrestling, is you do so much stuff in the gym, and then, like, you're like, oh, well, I can't try that in a competition. It's like, well, why not? You do it in the gym every single day. You're trying new stuff in the gym. You're taking risks. And then it gets to the point, too, it's like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, if I throw a kick and it gets caught, like, I know how to defend a single leg. I know how to get up off my back, So, like, stuff like that, just like, well, I'll do something, see what happens, and kind of go from there. But, like, you gotta take risk, too.
For sure. What was the Hunter Starner fight, that whole experience, like for you? Because I haven't really talked to you much at all about it, but obviously you were both 6-0, huge title fight. That's the only loss on your record. Like, what did you take away from that fight?
Yeah, it just really wasn't active enough. But, like, I mean, you fight enough, you're going to lose one. It wasn't like my thing too is like, they're like, oh man, how you feel as your first loss? And it's like, I mean, I didn't get like beat up. It's not like I went out there and I got, dumped on my head and elbowed in the face. It was, close fight, didn't do enough. Oh well,
Pretty healthy mentality. I think you were closest to finishing the fight. Did you think the guillotine was close?
No, or else I want to readjust it. Yeah, no, I mean, that's what my dad was saying. He was all worked up about it after. He's like, you had him. You just, I don't know why you would do that. His face was turning purple, and I was like, I couldn't see his face, man.
Did he say he was about to tap? I thought it was
one interview. He did in his interview say it was like real close.
Yeah, my dad said he's like on the screen, you could see his face turning purple, and then you let go and you try to do something. I don't know why you would do that. And I was like, you know what, Dad, first of all.
I've been in a cage and you haven't.
Yeah. And so the test coming up, I think this is one thing about you is you always want hard fights. We talked about you fighting Justin Patton already. You fought Asher Frederick when you were both 5-0, Hunter Starner when you were both 6-0. Now you're facing another undefeated guy, Lucas Siebert. What made you want that fight specifically?
He kept on saying he wants the #1 fight. So I was like, all right, well, I'm the number one at the time. There's that one guy that's always ranked ahead of me.
Yeah, what's
Drew
his
Dixon?
Name? Yeah, Drew Dixon. Who is that guy?
I've never seen him
I've always tried to.
He wrestled with one of Caden's teammates.
Okay.
I think he was actually at GMU, and then I think he's out in small school in Indiana or something.
Interesting.
He wrestled with one of Caden's coaches. Wrestled with him, so we had a nice game plan for him if he ever come around.
You guys are ready for that one.
Yeah, I think we asked for it a couple times. We asked, is it Jim does matchmaking now?
Yeah, Jim.
Yeah.
Never
heard anything back.
Full-time Mooney.
Full-time Mooney.
I know we've tried to get him fights before with us, and I don't know if we just can't get in touch with his coach, or
I'm not convinced he's a real person.
Either am I. I've never seen him fight either. Like Tapology's
you getting catfished by the #1 seed.
Yes. I think I am.
Yeah, it's just to motivate fighters in Tapology, so they never think they're number
put
one.
You one down.
Yes. So you can
don't
never
look
be
his
number
profile
one.
up, and you're one down.
It's like the dating apps. They put a bunch of fake women on there.
It's like you would never get this. Yeah, Drew Dixon, different level.
Keep on swiping.
Yeah,
but like, especially like whenever you're amateur, like everybody kind of wants to be an Instagram fighter to a point where it's like, I'm not going to take hard fights. I'm not going to do this. So you kind of hit a point where like you can't find fights whenever you're in that middle zone. Like me, like, like I've been around for a while with a bunch of film. Like people were like, oh yeah, I'll fight that guy just to see where I'm at, which is nice. But like, I only get like the, better guys now. But like, whenever you're in that middle zone, it's like, some guys say no to you, or like, oh, well, he doesn't have that many fights, or this or that. Or then there's people like, oh, he was a D1 wrestler. So like, for him, it kind of feels like how Patton took that fight against me. Like, like I'm sure people were like, oh, Patton, why would you take that fight? That's some, kid with 3 fights. Why would you take that one? So I kind of feel like the same way like that. Like he's probably a lot better than people are giving him credit for. And people are not giving him credit, let me tell you now. I won't be about names, but I got a lot of messages whenever that fight got announced.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh.
Wait, this one or the Dixon one?
No, this one. Like, it got announced and people were like, oh. I was like, oh. I thought, oh, okay.
People think you're just going to steamroll him or what?
Yeah, but it was like people like, like that. Like I thought he was friends with her. Like, oh man, I'm like, you just posted a picture with him yesterday. You a message. Like, all right, I guess.
Sometimes it be your own friends, man. Jeez, that's brutal.
I know.
Well, I honestly think it's an amazing fight. Like objectively, I've already said, I think you're an awesome fighter. I think Lucas is an awesome fighter, and probably, like you said, I don't think he's shown really how good he actually can be because he hasn't really been pushed at all. I think when you're going to push him for sure. And I think that's going to unlock the best out of both of you, I hope.
Yeah, they're both going to get better.
Yeah,
at the end
exactly.
Of the night. Exactly. It's that wrestling mentality. You got to be pushed to see where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
And like he said, and that's one good thing about our guys. We don't have a lot of Instagram tough guys. Like, but I mean, Jim and them and Ryan's is basically on, hey, start posting. Start posting. You have like, they're just not, they're not that type of guys, which I like.
Dude,
because I'm secretive too. You don't see us putting training videos.
Yeah.
I don't want you to know what I'm doing.
I remember Ethan talked about it maybe after the Calvin Harbaugh fight, but he was like, I watched every training session Calvin had. I knew what he was going to do. I know what his game is, and he couldn't see anything on me besides his 8,000 fights. Yeah. But other than that, it's like, I don't know what I've been working on since then.
Yeah, but you can tell someone's trying. Like Ethan always says, I am good at like seeing things that you might not see, or you give me a training video and I can tell you right. And that kid was tough.
Dude, he's really good. I
was impressed. His wrestling was good.
Mm-hmm.
But we knew and it went exactly the way we thought, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That kid's legit.
He's super legit. We wanted him on the Sprawlenberg card too. He had a fight coming up, but that card just booked up so fast. This grappling card is insane.
Yeah.
Like the amount of matches.
So how many matches are there? We were taking bets on the way out.
Do you know the actual number?
It's like 32.
That's what I thought.
God.
I thought it was 32. Yeah.
Dude, that's a wrestling tournament.
It is a wrestling tournament.
That is.
Are you guys starting
an
early?
NCAA bracket?
6:30 instead of 7, and they're all 6-minute matches, 1 round, except for the top 2 are 10-minute matches. So
Gray and
Gray's is 6. Sorry, 2 out of the top 3 are 10. Gray and Isaac are 6, but we just added Max Hansen and Richard Roby. I don't know if you know either of them. That's a 10-minute match, and then the main event, Dante and PJ's 10-minute.
Okay.
So yeah, it can potentially be a really long night, but we did our research a little bit. We watch a lot of like these pro grappling super fights cards, like Fury Grappling out in Philly does it. They move super fast.
So we should know this, but we don't. What happens at the end of 6? Is it referee discretion?
Yep,
That's what I
referee
thought.
discretion.
Okay.
The way I've been describing it is based on aggression, submission attempts, and control. Basically, look at it like it's a 1-round MMA fight.
Yeah.
Who won that round?
Okay.
It's that pretty much that simple. So yeah, it's going to be ref discretion. And I'm sure there's going to be some where people feel like they won and they did. But guys, it's grappling super fights.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world if you go out and look good but lose the decision.
Yeah.
Like it's really not a big deal.
No, you just want to compete.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't think grappling's like that though. Like I don't think people really care.
No,
Yeah.
there's a few like Dante and PJ in the main event. Like their world ranking can be affected by how that goes.
They're world ranked.
Oh, dude, Dante might be the best at his weight class in the world. Like super.
You guys
legit.
got him.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
it's crazy. It was our first. We were like, so Danny Palm knows what is it? PJ's girlfriend,
His
fiance?
cousin. So
Oh, okay.
another guy, one of my best friends. He's like my brother, Travis Doherty. He's actually on the card. He's engaged to a lovely woman named Jordy. She's cousins with PJ Barch.
Really?
There
Like
you go.
I was just hanging out with them one day, and they kind of just like we're just kind of like talking about
That's
it.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
How's
Yeah.
it selling?
Awesome.
Ticket-wise?
It's
Really?
awesome, man. It's outselling MMA.
What?
Yes, like
What's wrong
significantly.
with this world? Oh,
like not actually close. It's crazy,
What?
dude. It's nuts.
But that card Saturday's a good card.
The card Saturday's super, and the card Saturday's doing fine. I don't want to give that like it's doing great.
Yeah,
it's
but it's just
pacing.
not.
This is like something special. The grappling card is like out of control.
So, and I don't follow it as much as Cam and them do, but is it, so what makes this different from like the fight to win that I've seen?
It's very similar to that.
Is it?
Yeah,
Just a
yeah.
bigger
We're in a
card?
cage. It's in a cage first of all, which a lot of guys like because
Okay.
you can't go out of bounds. There's no resets, things like that. So that's cool for them. Our production fight to win has really good production too. To be fair, but it's gonna look like our MMA shows, but be grappling. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking on the way out, and one of Caden's teammates was trying to get matched for this show. I mean, went through 3 dudes.
I know.
And I think you guys are to the point where you're so big, no one wants to lose on that show anymore.
Yeah.
Like, and you guys, I remember going to Ron's first show. I told them in the locker, I said, this is legit.
Dude.
Like, I've been to some real shit boxes, and I was like, this is legit.
Oh, man. All credit to Ryan. Like you said, from the very beginning, he's cared about the details, the presentation, making everything look good, professional. He wanted it to be UFC shrunken down.
It is.
And that's what I think we got going on right now. Yeah.
But it's almost a double-edged sword because now people,
Yeah.
you can't, there is no gimmies anymore.
That's very true.
Every one of your, pretty much every one of your fights is legit.
Yeah.
But, no one wants to lose on that stage anymore. So,
dude, I was just yesterday, I think I added up the records on the MMA card. I added up all the records to get like a combined record. And what was it, like 83 and 50 or something like that? It was like a 65% winning. There's such good fighters on our card. And I'm definitely not putting anybody on blast to name names, but I did another card that's coming up at the end of July and did their records 5 and 17 for the whole card. And I was like, this is crazy.
It's just tough. And usually Ray handles the matchmaking stuff. I don't get involved until it's done. But I was amazed how tough it was to get a wrestler a fight. Like they just don't. That poor kid went through 3 people and still waiting.
No, I know. I know.
mean, it's just.
I see it. I talk to Jim every day about matching too because we run into it all the time. And it is a shame.
Hunter, it's 53 and 30.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
Record,
Yeah.
64% win percentage.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's absolutely bananas. And there's only like 2 debuts, 1 debut maybe,
One.
1 debut. So it's like all experienced guys that are winners. Like, I mean, your match is 10 and 1 combined. Like, that's crazy.
I'd go, and not just because it's Cam, but I mean, as a fan, I'd go to watch that fight.
You have to
alone.
see that fight. All 3 of the amateur title fights are bananas, honestly.
Yeah, I was talking with that. I didn't know the Miguel kid at all,
Mm-hmm.
but listening to his interview, I was super impressed. He got a good head on his show. Like,
He does.
I really, I like the way he handled himself because there's a definite difference between a newer amateur. You get those interviews, I'm stopping him. I'm submitting and then you get the more experienced guys, and it's what he said. You're fighting with yourself. You're not fighting against another guy. You're trying to get your stuff off. That's it.
It's a great way to look at it, for sure.
You know?
What is your background with Miguel, Cam? Because you know him from high school, right?
I think I was in high school whenever we met, but yeah, whenever like the jiu-jitsu tournaments, you go to a couple, you go with the same guys pretty much. I think it got a lot bigger now, so maybe it's not like that, but especially like doing like kids classes and doing like the youth divisions, there's
only so many guys.
It's me and Miguel every single tournament. Eventually hilarious. It's like I'm gonna stop doing these. I'm not paying $80 to grapple you, Miguel. My bad, but you have to find somebody else.
Oh, dude, I'm glad you said that. That's a big difference between us and Fight to Win. We don't. Fight to Win doesn't make you pay to compete either. We don't. But everybody's eligible for a $100 bonus if they get a submission with us. I don't know. I don't think Fight to Win does that at least.
And the pay-per-view.
Yeah, the pay-per-view commission's there, ticket commission's there, like that's the same. You can sell tickets and get pay-per-view, but every submission, even for the kids, like $100.
See, that's something that changed since I've done. We never got. Dude, I was like, you get $100 to travel.
Right.
And I'm talking Kansas City, Iowa,
Wherever.
like $100.
Yeah, yes.
Like seriously, they didn't pay the turnpike tolls.
Dude, you can't
now
buy
these kids. I'm not gonna give names, but I mean, I've seen some checks going out to
Oh
Annie's,
yeah.
and I'm like,
oh yeah, dude.
holy shit.
The commission, I mean, just in my time with 247, I've seen amateurs make more money than pros on the card, for sure, by selling tickets.
Well, I mean, I think I could say it. Clayton. I mean, he told me what he made.
It's crazy,
like,
right?
holy shit.
It's a good number.
No wonder your job's raising puppies. You don't need that shit, dude.
Dude, he's making more than some UFC fighters,
That's what I'm saying. He raises dogs. that shit you see on home TV. I'm by a $3 million house. I raise puppies. And I fight sometimes. Holy shit.
Oh, dude, that was one of the funniest memes I've seen. It's like a man and a woman.
Yeah.
Like, I raise butterflies for a living, and whatever. Our budget's $3 million.
Yeah.
Of course.
Dude, that's
how it always is. Yeah. Dude, how has it changed for you, Cam? Because even though you're young and still on the rise, you've been a part of the game for a long time, man. You've seen a lot of changes, especially locally. So how's it feel now compared to when you started?
I mean, whenever I started, I was a kid. You don't know nothing. Like I thought, like the coaches, you always think they're like the best dudes ever. There's nobody could beat them. Then you see them get beat, and you're like, oh man, like there's actual levels to this, So like stuff like that. There was never like a chance for me to like get an ego or anything, because you just being around it for forever. But yeah, I mean, I think the only gym I like haven't been into at this point in Pittsburgh is Armanzoni's gym, but like I've been everywhere. I've trained with everybody. Like it just
that we hear your name get tossed around a lot with people, and I'm like, I had no idea you worked with Cam, or like you knew Cam or whatever. So it is funny. You're kind of that guy that has been around everywhere. Miguel's very similar.
Yeah.
Has Miguel been to Gorilla House?
No.
Or just the shop? Okay, because I know he
went to the shop?
Yeah, I know he worked there a time or two for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we would grapple, and then he started training at the one gym I trained at with Donnie for a couple years. Whenever I went to college, I
is
think
that PTT when you, or is that Donnie Caker? Okay, just
Yeah.
making sure when you're saying Donnie.
Yeah, so yeah, we trained together there for a little while. We did he posted a picture not too long ago. I think I have it too, but it was like one of the grappling tournaments that Sonny used to run at Baldwin High School, and it was like
Caden did one there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking about the Pennsylvania State thingy that he did in like fall.
Yeah, I don't know what time of year it was, but yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but it was me, Miguel, and then what's her name? Patton's girlfriend.
Oh, Carly Joe.
Yeah, Carly. Yeah, she got thrown into boys division. There's no girls, but it's like the podium, and it's like us three.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
So when was that? What year is that? How long you guys been doing that?
I mean, that was a long time ago. I don't know.
So all three of you went to fight. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool picture for sure. Now, yeah, I like that for sure. Send that to one of us too, so we can put it in the video.
Yeah.
And we edit it. That's really cool. I love the throwback stuff and seeing stuff like that, and watching like the Pittsburgh scene now with like Cherico, Milstead, Calm, all those guys who were around, Cam. Like those are legendary pictures now looking back. Like those were the glory days. We're trying to bring that back for sure. We want the scene to be back at that level. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool after my first fight, like seeing all of them. It was like Adam, and Adam's all banged up. He's like, "Oh, Cam, come on, let me buy you a beer. Let me do this." Like, "Oh man, I can't believe you used to be this big whenever I first started training you."
Just blown away that's you.
Oh yeah.
That's so funny. Adam's one of my favorite dudes, even though he's a Maryland boy and he doesn't like the Steelers. He likes the Ravens. We got to cut him some slack. He's one of the best dudes, man, to just hang out with. Real good soul.
Oh yeah.
You don't meet too many bad ones in the sport. You really don't.
So true.
You don't. I can't
Do you think it just beats it out of you or what?
I think it humbles you.
Yeah,
I mean, the
for
minute
sure,
you
right?
think, because I always tell them, I'm not one of those coaches that micromanages, well, outside the cage. You know, I like them to, I think the world of Isaac, I love them to go. I'm the one pushing. Hell, I drove them to Calmer's gym 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, drove them. And I mean,
That's a haul.
yeah, no shit.
How far is that for you guys from?
Dude, we got stuck in the tunnels. Like I
Today?
shouldn't. No.
Okay.
We went to Calmer's, and I mean, my God, we were a half hour late. Me and Ethan are warming up, and they literally yanked Ethan off of me. I felt like I lost my kid. Drug him into that back room and proceeded to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I couldn't see a line of sight, but every time I look, poor Ethan's going against the wall with a knee or a kick going in his stomach. I'm like, holy shit. No warm up period. They just went.
Yeah.
You need that, man.
Yeah, it helps you a lot because, like, in your own gym, too, you get comfortable. Like, one, like, you have the same guys, so you're like, oh, he's going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I wouldn't defend it normally, but I know, like, after he does that, this happens. But then, like, just, like, the atmosphere, like, you know, like, you're not there every day. It's a new place. You're surrounded by new people. Like, makes you a little bit uncomfortable, which helps you, you know, whenever you actually get in the fight and you're real uncomfortable.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. You see, like, nowadays, even all the way up to the UFC, guys are cross-training a lot. Unless you're at ATT, where they have a million bodies and it's a different guy, like you're saying, you can get different looks at a gym that big. But other than that, or Jackson, you know, there's a select few. But for the most part, guys are still traveling around getting different looks.
To, don't you? I mean, that's the wrestling mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were always club jumpers. I jumped to wherever club I could, and I've always preached that to them. And that's what I did when I worked construction at the beginning. And you know, look, I had kind of a chip on my shoulder because we were a smaller town, so I was always nervous. Am I getting the work that I need to get? So I'd travel for work. I'd call a gym up. That was before the internet, and I call a gym up like, hey, I'm this ranked, and I want to come in, and that's how you get to meet people. You get humbled. You're like Cam said, you learn to fight in that almost like a fight environment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're the outsider.
Right.
You know, it's weird. I cannot even imagine what it was like before the internet. Like, it's just been around for so long.
Fucking MapQuest. Yeah, that's what the fuck it was.
MapQuest, print out your directions.
Yeah. And you're reading and driving. You see how I drive. So I'm doing 85 trying to read a MapQuest. It sucks.
How old are you, Cam?
24.
Okay, dude, you're younger than I thought. Even okay, dang, that is young.
You're that much older than Caden. I thought you guys were. I don't know why I thought you were the same age.
How old's Caden now?
22.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice.
That idiot's getting married.
Is he? Yeah. Good for him. I remember. Hey, I gotta say something nice, Caden.
She's a good kid.
No,
he's really young.
I feel like he got engaged shortly after Flood City Fight Night, maybe, or around that time. He was supposed to fight there, and his opponent goes to...
it was
it
a Disney trip. Yeah, it was last May.
Where at? Which park? Where did he do
Magic Kingdom.
Paint the picture for me, Darren. I need to hear how beautiful this is.
Darren wasn't watching.
Are you kidding me? He got down on knee. I can't say on air what I can't say on air what I was calling him. But it ended in got. Let's leave it that.
That's awesome. These are the kind of parents you need in your lives, kids. This is beautiful.
That's what I tell them, man. They know wrestling tournament's tough enough.
I'm telling you, dude.
That in my beatings that I've mentally given them.
Well, look how they're turning out, man. Cross is killing it. Caden's killing it. How is Caden doing right now? Because I know he's had, a little bit of a rocky collegiate career.
The injuries. He was. The sad part is, he wrestled with a really, I'm not going to say what it is because I want them idiots attacking it, but he wrestled with a really bad injury. He beat, and Danny might know, he wrestled in the Penn tournament before he got hurt and beat the kid who took fourth or fifth at NCAAs that year. He's a Jersey kid, and I can't think of his name. But Caden got hurt. It was like a month later and tried to wrestle through it and just ran out of
Not happening.
He was a match away at max. He would have qualified. And that's what I told him. I said, that's what I try to tell these guys, let's not make the stage bigger than what it needs to. At the end of the day, it's a fight. It's a match.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, make nationals. You're playing with house money. You're hurt. Just let it fly.
Yep.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
But he knock on wood. I just talked to the coach. He said he looks great.
That's awesome.
So hopefully,
I love hearing that.
Hopefully you can stay healthy. But the good thing is he's back, so I've had him and teammates of his come and work with Cam.
Nice.
Because you don't get no better than that.
For sure. That is cool.
Caden's great. It's also funny too because like I remember like Caden's whole high school career, Darren was like, "Oh, you're hurt. Suck it up. That's not a real injury, this, that." But like it would be something you just got surgery on or needed surgery on. Like if I have to hear you cry about that one more time, you're sitting in the car. To now he's like, "All right, listen, buddy, let's not push it too hard." And then Caden's like, "Shut up, old man. I'm going."
Nice. The role reversal.
200%.
Oh, you
full
do.
steam ahead.
He has no control.
Well, what changed? Why'd you change your tune of being a little more concerned about his injuries now?
I mean,
because it's college?
Well, yeah, it's college.
Yeah.
It's college, and I mean, basically gifted almost $250,000 to go to school.
Pretty big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's, do I want him tearing a joint in a gym, or do I want him to try to make it through? He's got to be smart.
For sure.
I mean, how the idiot was talking about fighting on this show. I'm like,
Caden wanted on this show?
Literally just got the ink on the goddamn release isn't even dry.
Oh, my
And you
God.
want to fight. Like,
that's beautiful.
Use your head.
I was about to ask you if he's still interested in fighting, but that answers that question.
Yeah, well, one kid, I'm not going to give names because you never know if it's the coaches or the kid turning it down, but there was one the gym threw in front of us, and he was kind of, I don't know if I want to go 35 or 40. I was just getting frustrated because Pat couldn't get anything, and I'm like, look, Pat 35, Caden 45, pick one. And I guess the kid fought on a completely different show.
Oh, wow.
So
okay, fair enough.
But I probably would have let him do that one. But other than that, no.
After college?
Yeah. I mean, it's possibility next summer.
Sick.
Depending. I mean, he's got to finish the season healthy first.
Of course.
It's possible.
Well, how hilarious that you expect this wrestler and he knocks dude out in his debut. His hands look great. It's that Cassidy jeans.
Hard. Like,
yeah,
when I say retarded, he hits retarded hard. Like heavy hands. Not my ideal technique right now.
Sure.
But he hits hard.
Sure.
And I swear to you, you can ask Cam, like, I didn't do a lot with him. I swear to God. When he fought, we put maybe 2-3 months in.
Wow.
When he come to the gym for these guys, he was the wrestling partner. Like, he never, that's when he was getting matched. Like, oh, it's a coach. No, it wasn't like that. He was there to be a wrestler. I mean, that was Sid's first, him and Cam were Sid's first partner for wrestling. So, I mean.
Yeah, most of that camp for him, too, was just like, these are submissions. This is what people are going to try to do. We'll only defend half of them because we don't got time to learn all of them.
Pick the ones you think you're going to fall in, and we'll go from there.
And he's like, what if I just punch him in the face instead?
That works. That works. He had me in the back. He had Ethan in the back. Me and Ethan are trying to warm him up. It's during COVID. You're wearing that friggin' mask. Calls off, whacks me, hits Ethan. I think he might have knee Cam. He's an idiot.
This was the one I was banned from. I had to watch it on TV. Pretty upset about that.
That was your first patent fight when you guys, one of you tested hot, right? For COVID.
I was like, whoa.
I should have said that.
Okay, Cam. What's he on? Like the gas station sex pills? Like, well, what's Cam taking? Dude, that's beautiful. So Caden has obviously seen enough of his dad in road rage incidents to know how to throw a punch.
We cannot discuss this matter any further.
It is ongoing investigation. So.
It's one of my favorite Facebook posts ever. I don't even remember who posted. It may have been Ethan or even you. I don't remember.
No, I didn't post it. Are you kidding? No.
I was gonna say somebody did.
I was hoping there wasn't a video. Shit.
And I was like, a lot of times you see posts like that, and you're like, all right, this dude's just pulling. You're like, he's making shit up. I saw that one. I'm like, that's real.
Oh yeah,
that happened.
I got $10,000 missing. It's fucking real.
So, in the cage, kids, is a much safer way to fight. Be more like Cam Allgeier and fight in the cage. Don't fight on the streets.
I've never gotten in a fight outside the cage. I don't fight in the streets. Yeah, nobody wants to fight
me.
Yeah.
Who would want a piece of that?
That's what I'm saying.
Dude.
Who wants the AutoZone parts manager?
Dude, I kind of wish, like, is there any part of you that hopes, like, you get the chance that somebody tries to start something with you and you're dressed like this?
Yes, he does.
You can just choke him real quick and be like, how about that?
He does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I mind my own business for the most part. The only time I've ever really gotten close is, like, whenever I go out with my girlfriend. she gets a drink or two in her, all of a sudden she's a lot tougher than she thinks she is.
I like Lexi though.
Dude, she gets mean.
I know, I like it.
Yeah, we were at what was that, McFadden's or something, and yeah, this guy like bumped into her carrying drinks or something. She turns around and starts like cussing the guy out. I'm like, oh, come on.
Don't do this. Don't do this to me.
I'm like trying to watch the UFC fights, like I have him up in the corner. I'm not even paying attention. All of a sudden, this guy's trying to fight me. I'm like, all right, I guess we gotta go.
Did you do
it?
The
Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah. How'd that turn out?
She's like, my boyfriend fights.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
That's her go-to line.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber.
My boyfriend fights.
Yeah, that's her go-to
Yeah,
line.
we'll see about that. How'd that one end? Did you have to fight? Well, you just said you never been in a fight.
All his buddies grabbed him, and then
Nice.
he started talking stuff. And then it's like, they start talking stuff whenever they're getting pulled away. And it's like, all right, well, I wasn't really looking forward to a fight, but now you want to...
Now I actually do want to fight you.
Of all our guys, I think Cam's undercover, nasty
for
like
sure.
that. You know who's probably the calmest is Ethan.
Really?
Believe it or not.
Really?
He is so...
It's the old age mellowing him out.
Man, I hate to give him compliments. He's like one of the nicest dudes.
Oh, dude, he's the best.
Like you'll ever talk to.
Yeah.
And he's told me stories in a bar, and he lives in a backwoods area, so you know what he's dealing with.
I grew up in that life.
I can do that stuff. He's so calm. And he's a killer.
Oh, he has a different kind of confidence going right now too, man. You can just see it all over him. The Calvin fight was probably the best example. He's so calm.
Everybody gets at nerves, but I walked in, and as soon as I saw him, this is gonna be his night. You can tell. Yeah. And I've seen him both ways. I mean, Sue though, he admitted I thought he looked great in warm up, and he said I just don't. I said you're fine. I said I would tell you. And he had one of his best fights.
That was a sick fight.
But we're, I know you don't have time to come back, but we're different when we're in the dressing room. I'm a believer. I will beat the brakes off of their mind and their body during the camp.
Whenever I fought at CFFC, so I'm like the third fight on the card. Yeah. And there's, people who are like UFC prospects, sitting there trying to stretch out. Me and Darren are full out sparring in the back.
And then Caden jumps in, they're doing takedowns, slamming against the wall. They just looked at us like, who are these assholes? And then Cam went out and beat their hometown kids. So,
you did play spoiler there.
Yeah, but what I was getting at, our warm up is brutal, but we're loose in the back. We joke, we're cutting each other, we're cutting down, You don't want that. I don't think you want that atmosphere. That's what I did with Caden growing up. You see dads and coaches, they're in the guy's ear from the jump. He does this, he does that. This is our night. I don't do any of that shit. The work's put in.
That's right.
I want a loose version of him. I want a loose version of Ethan. So we're joking.
Well, it kind of goes back to in the gym where you're doing your best. You're not doing any of that. In the gym, you're making jokes. You know,
we have. I couldn't ask for better guys. We honestly have, you can see, we have fun doing it.
Absolutely.
But there's some, kind of, it is frustrating because we're out, I think we're on the outskirt when not you, but when people think of Pittsburgh, right? I include us because I'm from Pittsburgh,
Right.
People don't they don't understand how good Ray is. They don't, they know enough. We put some good people out. We have some legit guys.
Oh, no doubt.
We don't have 40. I'll admit that.
Sure.
But, look, we had, 3 belts at one time. If Sid comes back, there's another killer. We got a couple more. We got Tyler coming up. One of my little wrestlers is starting back. Nice. But we do it a little different in the sense that I don't do a class, neither does Ray. Well, Ray does a little jiu-jitsu class when he done pawn it off on Cam. But we have a fighter only practice. Nice. So, you're baptized by fire. You just, and not that we spar hard, but
no, I know what you mean for sure.
Yeah. Every time people come into the gym though, you ever notice whenever somebody pops in, they are done within the first hour of practice.
Yeah, so we've had some pretty good guys come in, and one just come in a little bit ago, and he's like, dude, I need a break.
Wow.
Like
nice.
I'm a drilling guy. Like I run a practice like a wrestling practice. We drill, because pads don't hit back, pads don't move. Like I want you drilling on a live guy so you can get your footwork down, your timing down, your distance down. Even though it's not choreographed, though it's drilling, it's semi-live.
For sure.
You don't get better at fighting by running 3 miles. You get better at fighting by drilling.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with race practice too. It's like, like this is a situation, we're gonna go over it until you do it right, but we're going, pretty like situational live until you do what like we drilled, like it's nonstop.
Yeah. Well, the roster you guys have, like you said, it's small, but it speaks for itself. Like you just said, 3 champions at a time. Dan Albright is right there. I mean, he's a beast. He's a killer. You guys have had various names. Obviously, Caden. If he was full-time MMA, he'd be right in the mix, no doubt in my mind. And you've had different guys throughout just my time with 247. I know there were guys that like talked about maybe didn't fight for whatever reason, but you guys were all saying good things about them. I'm sure they were good. Like Jordan Wagner's one that sticks out to me.
Jordan, I thought, could have been a killer.
Yeah, that's what we heard from everybody. Like, dude, this kid's good.
He went in, and again, I'm not going to drop names. He sparred a kid from another gym who was highly regarded. And then look, it's sparring. Yeah. But
everybody's got their days.
He handled himself well.
That's awesome.
Better than what I thought.
Sure.
So it just, life got in front of him.
It happens. We talk about that all the time, too. We look at our cards, and it's like in 4 years, 50% at least of these people are not fighting anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not even training.
Yeah. Like just totally out of the game.
Well, I think it was Calmer Ethan said, that's why there's a plethora of 1-1, 1-2, 2-1. There's not many of him rolling around. There are definitely not a lot of Ethans.
No. Oh my God.
I think Calmer has a boatload of. There's not many of them left. It's a grind.
Yeah.
And especially, after wrestling, most of these kids are coming up from wrestling or whatever. That you did 18 years of grind or 20 years of grind there. Then you're going to do this.
It's a wild decision. Yeah. Well, Cam, what keeps you going, man? Because you got a good job, a good degree. We were internally, I'll just let you know, we were talking about like Cam might not fight again. Who knows? Like I didn't know for sure because you have a life. Like we said, what keeps you coming back and as an amateur as well? Because I think you are pro level, but what makes you want to stay at amateur for maybe 1, 2? Like, what's your plan?
I don't have one.
There's no plan. That's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I like training, just going to keep doing it until I don't like it anymore. If I got to take a pro fight, I got to take a pro fight. If I want to take another amateur, yeah, sure, why not? Like,
it sounds like you're taking a prison sentence. If I got to take a pro
if I got to take one.
Yeah, I don't really care, It's just like, oh, yeah, like, I've been training every day. Might as well take a fight, right?
Might as well keep doing it.
My dad has called me every single day. My dad, so he actually... he was like, dude, you should take another fight. You should take another fight. So he calls Ray, and Ray was like, like he's gonna do whatever he wants to do. I'm not pressuring him. Like, calm down. So then he calls Caden. I don't know how he had Caden's number, but he has Caden's number. He's like, Caden, I need your dad's number right now. It's an emergency. So Caden sends his number, and he calls Darren. And he goes, Darren, I need you to start being meaner to my son, and I need you to tell me he needs to take a fight. Ray's too soft on him.
Oh my God!
And as soon as he said meaner, I said, I don't even know if I can notch it up that much.
Yeah,
but
I'm near the top with Cam right
I love
now.
His dad.
Yeah,
his dad's like the perfect sport parent.
That's awesome. When you say that, what do you mean? I want to know how
just
you would
supportive.
describe.
I mean, just
yep.
Just he's in the crowd yelling like it's a neighbor. Like you would never think that's his kid.
Mm-hmm.
Then he has a stepmom.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Like we had 3 people at CFFC. I mean, we were clearly outsiders. They weren't talking, and he had a hell of a fight.
Yeah.
Against a super tough kid.
Was that Christian Bobby?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of talking about the fight, they're talking about his stepmom in the crowd. Like she was batshit yelling. I love her.
She's like Eddie Alvarez's wife. The way they're always talking about her yelling. That's
odd. Dude, they were literally saying this. What they say? He don't have a big crowd, but he got one.
Not a large quantity of fans, but the quality is outstanding.
Oh man, that's beautiful. It's not the size of the boat, Cam. They tell you that all the time. That's hilarious, dude. I gotta look that fight up on YouTube now to see.
Yeah, it's like during my walkout, you could hear.
Awesome. We're 100%.
Oh, it was more than during the walkout. It was the whole fight.
Oh yeah.
That's the most Cam answer ever, by the way. I was like, I'm going to get like something good out of Cam. He's like, no, there's no plan. No, I don't know.
Yeah,
Whatever
I
happens is
almost
going to
feel bad
happen.
like doing stuff like this or like talking to like people at the gym. You know, like I teach like the class there. I'm doing jiu-jitsu. And I'll be like, oh man, are you excited? Are you pumped? Are you this? And it's like, no, like I'm not. I wish I could be, but I'm just. It's
incredible.
Yeah, but I mean,
just
don't
like
you think that's
thing.
why he does as good as he does?
Absolutely.
No highs and no lows.
Yep. On fight night, there's never a question that you're getting a good performance out of Cam. Like,
and one thing I'll give him credit for is like if he has a bad sparring round, and he has a few, like he wants to go. Like I had to kick him out the other week. I'm like, dude, enough.
Nice.
So off night, like let it go.
Nice.
But he won't stop, and that's what you need.
That's killer.
You know, that's what you need. I don't want. You gotta love to spar to do this. I mean, I'm not saying you have to do it every day because we don't. But if you don't enjoy that part of the battle, it's not. And we've had kids come in that maybe they look decent and they just, I don't want to spar. I don't, you can't do it.
Makes sense. I mean, I get it myself as somebody who doesn't spar and train. Like, I understand why somebody wouldn't want to do that. But
well, yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, exactly. When you get, how do you feel about guys when you hear like Max Holloway famously says he doesn't spar anymore? Is that, but he's obviously sparred his whole life.
Different level.
Right.
We don't spar a lot. We really don't.
Yeah.
We do a lot of controlled sparring. We do situational stuff. They do a Shark Tank, as we kind of tie up the camp. But I'm a technique guy. I want the technique on point, and you can only get that if you're not doing what you normally do constantly.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell him, hey, we're going to execute a certain thing that's some opposite of what he does good. And force him, or we're down around, we're gonna act like we're down, we're gonna ramp it up a little. Like situational stuff.
That makes perfect sense. Cam, what rank are you in jiu-jitsu? Do you train in the gi much?
Yeah, well, on Saturdays we do gi stuff. I'm a purple belt.
Okay. I just wasn't sure. I've always wondered. And I always also wondered if you had to grapple Ethan in a submission-only matchup, how would that go?
I would maul Ethan. It's not even close, like we all know. It doesn't matter what sport. You put me in a boxing match against him, you could put me in a wrestling match against him. Jiu-jitsu, MMA, it doesn't matter. I tell you guys all the time, I'm the unofficial pro 145-pound champ. You guys think I'm joking.
You know what those pricks do? They because they're rarely in camp together.
Sure.
So they'll try to beat the shit out of each other sparring.
Right.
Because one guy has nothing to lose and the other guy's got the fight coming up.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, that's hilarious.
They're good for each other.
That's the answer I wanted. That was perfect.
Yeah, it depends on the time too, because like with like the jiu-jitsu stuff, like sometimes it's just like all out scrambling. Like yesterday, it was me, him, and Dybert, and it's just straight scrambles the whole time. Nobody wants to give up position because like if you lose a round, you're gonna hear about it at the end of practice. Like I'm gonna be getting dressed, and Ethan's gonna be like, "Yeah, I tapped you out 3 times. How's that feel?"
Just saying.
Yeah. And then there's other times where like if we both don't have something coming up, like one of us will get a takedown or a sweep, and it's like, "Yeah, we're just gonna hang out here. Like I'm on bottom. I'm not trying to get submitted." Or
that's fine.
Like seems like a lot of energy to get up. You already won. You already got your bragging rights.
Makes perfect sense. How is Ethan doing preparing for his grappling matchup? Is he taking it like seriously like a fight, or what's the strategy? Is he gonna roll in with a can of Bud Light and a bag of Middlesworth? Because that's kind of what I want. That's kind of what I'm hoping for.
He comes into every jiu-jitsu practice.
Okay. Does he train or does he just show up?
He comes in every jiu-jitsu practice.
That's awesome. You hear that, Daniel Stupinski? You better watch out, bro. Ethan's treating this like it's the fight of his life. Oh, that's beautiful. I do think, in all seriousness, I think him having so much cage experience is going to help him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's different, right? That changes things.
God. So, like, with race practices, one of the big things is just, like, we have the luxury of having an actual cage, and it does make a big difference. The wall versus the cage, it's very different. But like how you move, how you grapple, like if you get caught in a guillotine and you're by the cage, there's no way they're finishing. You just put them up against it. But like, if you don't do that all the time, you don't know, or like there's like passes that work, passes that don't. There's sweeps that there's no point if you're next to the cage to try it.
Mm-hmm.
But like we have that luxury, and Ray really harps on that. Like Ray's big thing too is like everything's about just smashing the guy, so it's very MMA focused. So it's not, all the like spinning stuff, because that doesn't work if you're put up against a wall. You can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we got Big Dan versus Justin Pippins in a rematch, grappling. That's sick. That fight was insane.
Yeah.
Did Dan give you guys a heart attack in that one a little bit?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was in Disney at the time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
And we're at Crystal Palace, which is fancy, and I'm yelling, like, hit a leg. And,
you watching it on your phone in Disney?
Yeah,
nah, that's awesome.
Yep.
That's what I like to hear.
I was in the back whenever he got hit. I came out and he was already down, and I was like, man, what's everybody all worked up for? This looks like a pretty boring fight.
Looks like it's going all right for Dan.
That's a good matchup, though.
That's a sick matchup,
I'm excited for that one.
Pippins is a beast.
Dan is insanely strong. So this one day, me and Ethan, we were, talking trash, as we do. And we're like, Dan, me and Ethan one day, we're just going to beat you up. Like, both of us are just going to beat you up. And he's like, I bet that in straight grappling, I could take both of you. There's no way. There's no way, Dan. Like, you're a white belt. Ethan's a brown, almost black belt. I'm a purple belt. We're going to tap you out. No. Ethan has a rear naked choke, so, like, I'm pushing both of Dan's hands down on the mat.
Oh, my
So
God.
he
this
can't
was a
defend
jumping.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was that
jumped him.
bad.
Yeah, so I have both Dan's hands on the mat.
Yeah, we jumped
Ethan
him.
has both hooks in. He is trying to get a choke in, so he's like cross-facing, digging across the face, trying to get the other hand under. So he has a neck crank, and he's pulling through. Dan's face is like this. Just turns his neck. Ethan's whole body just couldn't fight it.
Oh, my God.
Ethan on his back, me on his hands. He just stands up, shakes us off. It's like, oh, boy, we made a mistake.
Weight classes exist for a reason.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a big weight class exists for a reason moment.
Oh,
but that,
boy.
and then we're talking to him about this grappling match, and we're like, man, whenever you fought Pippins, did he feel strong? No. It's like, dude, I've seen him. Like,
Yeah.
he felt strong. I mean, he's like, well, he's not weak, but, like, he's not, like, super strong or nothing. It's like, there's a video that went viral of him just picking a 260 pound guy
In
up
a
with just
triangle.
one arm.
Yeah,
just one arm.
yeah,
and he just
dude.
goes like that and throws him across the mat. You're
Yeah.
telling me he wasn't strong? It's like, I'm not saying that. It's just like, I mean, he's not me.
Oh,
like, all right,
nice.
that's fair.
Nice.
Dude, he's been logging since he's been like third grade. We found out he was homeschooled
Dude.
until like seventh or 8th grade.
Oh, he said high school.
It could have
didn't
been. I
know
mean,
that. That's
Just
incredible.
talking
Logs
with
in
him,
the
I could
woods.
believe high school.
I see it, yeah. He's always weighing in with a big chew in and stuff.
Oh,
I
dude,
love Dan
he's-
Albright.
Yeah, he's
Well, I mean, you can look at him and know that's going to be a strong dude. That's your classic farm boy build
Yep.
right there, dude.
I underestimated how strong farm boys were.
It's not a joke. That
Yeah.
those hay bales don't throw themselves.
he's a
No,
big
so
boy.
it was me and Ethan doing that, and then that's whenever Dagger's like, yeah, every single practice since I was at high school,
Yeah.
every single practice since I was in high school, I had to go with him.
Oh yeah, he was the biggest kid on the team.
Somebody
and he
has to.
moves. He moves. He's athletic.
That's probably why he moves so good. It's like, if Dan grabs me, I'm not moving anymore.
That's awesome. Dude, guys, we have a ridiculous weekend coming up. We're excited to have you back. Gorilla House, always welcome on a 247 card. Obviously, you guys are awesome to work with. Appreciate you making the drive all the way out to the studio, too, because I know that's not easy. I'm glad. Did you get traffic? Didn't get any
No.
traffic? Sweet.
To be honest, I mean, I've been making this trip for 10 years because
You're used to it.
Yeah, the club that the boys grew up at is down the road.
For sure. But we got Cam versus Lucas, obviously. Featherweight title fight, amateur featherweight title fight. Saturday at Brawl in the Berg 17. And then we just talked about Dan and Ethan. Friday, my day this fight week, guys, and it's a double fight week, so my brain is extra fried this week. It's been crazy. It's Sprawl in the Berg, Ethan and Dan both competing there. All tickets at 247fighting.com. Choose Cam as your fighter. If you like Cam's outfit, support him so he can buy more dress shirts.
You know what the problem is? I don't own any polos. I own one. I just got a bunch of dress shirts. I don't want to dress like this.
You
I
pull it
have
off.
to.
Honestly, and I'm not just saying this to gas you up. Like, you pull it off, it fits you, and I'm glad that this is you, because we don't need another fighter wearing affliction shirts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We need fighter. This is awesome. This is a great look, a great gimmick. I think you versus Lucas is a sick fight, like we said, man. I'm just excited to see you back in the cage. So we'll see you guys Friday.
Thank
for
you.
sure. See the
Thank
whole
you for
team.
having us.
Yeah, of course, guys. Take care.